Welcome to the explainer for Capstone Build, Solana Pay USDC Merchant, and RWA Token, brought to you by Forge College. So we are essentially standing in the final assembly hangar of our engineering journey today, ready to piece together our Web3 machine. If you've been following along with the Solana ecosystem track, specifically within the stablecoins, payments, and real-world assets course, you know we've been crafting some incredibly intricate parts over the last few sessions. Well, today is the big day. It's time to assemble, finalize, and submit the ultimate Capstone project. We're talking about a fully functional Solana Pay integration that actually accepts USDC for a merchant storefront, and it's paired directly with a proof of concept real-world asset, or RWA, token, using token 2022 transfer hooks. Let's take a super quick peek at our blueprint for today. We'll kick things off with a welcome to the Capstone, then gather our building blocks. After that, we'll dive right into the storefront and RWA token, walk through an end-to-end demo, and finally go over packaging your final submission. All right, kicking off with part one, welcome to the Capstone, the final assembly line,
and moving right along to part two, gathering your building blocks, inputs, and definitions.
Now, to make total sense of the jargon we'll be tossing around, let's use a fun little analogy. Think of this whole project like a giant, complex Lego castle. That front-end storefront you built, that's your drawbridge. And the token 2022 transfer hook, well, that's the hidden wire that automatically lights up the highest tower, which represents your RWA token, the exact second that drawbridge lowers. We're essentially wiring a payment event directly to an automatic on-chain asset action using this incredibly clever piece of code. It's a chain reaction, right? And the hook is the exact mechanism ensuring that the second part happens flawlessly the moment the first part succeeds. So here is our actual parts manifest. This maps exactly where our code lives, from that front-end drawbridge straight to our back-end tower. And trust me, evaluators are definitely going to be looking for this. You've got your checkout.js, which generates the Solana Pay URI. Then there's reconcile.js, just standing by to verify the payment and trigger the action. You also have the anchor program holding all your hook logic, and finally your deployment scripts. Seriously, keeping these files organized, that is literally half the battle won right there. Okay, part three, storefront and RWA token, building the machine. Oh, and a very quick reminder before we dive in, we are strictly sticking to the Devnet for this build, so we don't accidentally drain any of your real funds. Let's see how this thing actually builds. We always start by validating our repository and double-checking those environment variables. Things like your dev wallet and merchant key pair path are super common failure points, so we need them perfectly dialed in for Devnet. Next up, we spin up our front end by starting the local dev server so we can physically see the checkout running in a browser. Finally, we take our hook program, build it out with Anchor, and deploy it straight to the Devnet. Once it's living up there, we just use the SPL token CLI to create our mint, making sure those token 2022 extensions are fully enabled. But here is the absolute million-dollar question. How does a simple front-end payment actually trigger a complex token action? It's one thing to have a slick storefront that accepts test money, right? But the real engineering magic lies in bridging that gap between a buyer hitting pay and that RWA token logic executing flawlessly on the back end. This flow happens in a strict chronological relay race. Step 1, your front end creates a payment intent, specifically a Solana Pay URI asking for USDC. Step 2, the buyer whips out their Devnet wallet to sign and send that payment. Step 3 is where the backend suddenly wakes up. It fires off an RPC call, like get confirmed transaction, to verify that the signature is totally valid and the blocks are confirmed. Once the backend gives the absolute green light, we hit step 4, it submits an instruction to the token 2022 hook. This might transfer a placeholder token or even mint a tiny slice of that real-world asset directly to the payer. It really is a beautifully automated handoff. Moving right into part 4, the end-to-end demo, testing the assembly. We've got 4 major checkpoints to pass here to guarantee our Capstone is actually ready for submission. We have to stress test everything, from the UI confirmation all the way down to the automated hook paths. First, we'll manually kick off a payment and grab the transaction signature, just to prove the storefront works. Next, we do a Devnet transfer to invoke our hook, explicitly fetching the RPC logs to prove the hook actually fired. After that, we run a fully scripted demo that combines the two, payment straight into the RWA trigger, and we capture that entire sequence. And finally, the grand finale, running our complete suite of automated integration tests. Now, for every single demo run, you have got to capture the receipts. We absolutely need the USDC payment signature, the RWA token transaction signature, and those program logs showing the actual hook invocation. I know. Hunting down logs and signatures can feel a bit tedious, especially when your Devnet wallet randomly decides to completely run out of test SOL right in the middle of a perfect run. But these artifacts, they are the concrete, undeniable proof that your Lego castle actually functions. Just save them neatly in an artifacts folder alongside a short JSON metadata file. And finally, part 5, packaging your final submission, the README reality. Yes, we have officially arrived at the most universally dreaded task in all of software engineering, writing the documentation. I seriously cannot stress this enough, and honestly, this quote hits the nail right on the head. Your README and demo artifacts are as important as the code. Look, if an evaluator cannot perfectly reproduce your DevNet environment using your instructions, then your beautifully engineered, flawlessly humming machine, it basically doesn't exist to them. As you write up those docs and put the final polish on your project, let 2 core architectural principles guide you. Principle 1, separate verification from action. Always, and I mean absolutely always, verify the payment completion on-chain before you ever trigger your RWA action. And make sure that verification is idempotent. That's just a fancy way of saying if a webhook accidentally fires twice, accidentally send the asset twice. Principle 2, observable side effects. Your hooks must emit crystal clear, auditable logs so that anyone peeking at the chain can see exactly why an RWA transfer actually went down. And hey, let's work smart, not just hard. Don't be afraid to lean on an AI assistant to do the heavy lifting when it comes to formatting your README or debugging those super annoying deterministic tests. You can totally use AI-assisted vibe coding to take a raw, messy console output, like a rent-exempt account error, and just ask the AI to whip up a clear, concise troubleshooting guide for your docs. Keep your prompts tight, feed it the exact command outputs, and just let it help you polish the whole shebang. So let's look at your final checklist. You really need to treat your final README as an executable document. It has to sit right there in the root of your repo. It absolutely must package up your artifacts directory, the one with those precious transaction signatures and hook logs we talked about. It needs to show off your passing integration tests, and above all else, it needs perfectly clear, copy-pastable reproduction commands. If you've got all of that checked off, congratulations, you have a passing Capstone increment. You guys have built an amazing system that bridges front-end payments to back-end smart contracts, creating real automated value. But this actually raises a super fascinating question for our next step. Once you've mastered creating tokens and logging all these robust actions, how on earth will you handle the massive on-chain storage costs of the future? Well, that question leads perfectly into our next subject on the fundamentals of stake compression on Solana. But for now, take a breath. You should be incredibly proud of snapping your final Capstone pieces together. Head over to forge.college to explore more Web3 resources, take a deep dive into stake compression, and celebrate your awesome progress. I've been your host, and I will catch you in the next explainer.